Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ryan. If you're new here, please subscribe. Let us grow this channel together. If you have subscribed, thank you. As well, hit that like button. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the two desktop. We're going to be comparing Windows 7 desktop and Windows 10. What really changed? How do they look? And how do you feel when you look at them together? I've opened my Oracle VM that contains, or it has a VM that is Windows 10 workstation, and also I've opened on my right hand side VMware Prayer that has a VM with Windows 7 workstation 1. So here on my left hand side, that is Windows 10, and on my right hand side, that is Windows 7. So you can see the difference right away. When you look at the default desktop background on Windows 10, is completely different. You see, there's a kind of boxes with a kind of a shadow or maybe light flowing through it. And when you look on Windows 7, it has a different as well. It has a different default background. So that is one difference or comparison, or a difference between Windows 7 and Windows 10. Also, when you look here on top here in Windows 7, when you look at the recycle bin shortcut, the wording is the same, but when you look at the icons, you can see the difference. This is kind of circular on Windows 7, and when you look on Windows 10, it shows kind of square recycle bin and kind of more light, but on Windows 7 is transparent, as you can see. Also, when we go down on our taskbar, we see there's a lot of difference. When you look at the start button on Windows 10, it's also kind of square, for squares. But when you look at Windows 7, when you hover over that shortcut or that icon, kind of lights, and it is circular. But they're the same. They all start programs and a computer. When you continue on Windows 10, you can see there's a search space. That's a type here to search something, which is not on the taskbar of Windows 10, on Windows 7, which is not on Windows 7. Also, Windows 10 has Cortana. Cortana is an assistant for Windows 10, so you can find easily what you want on the computer of Windows 10, which is not there on the taskbar of Windows 7. We continue on Windows 10. You can see there's a task view already here that shows that you can click on and see different tasks you've been working on. But when you go on Windows 7, it's not there. This is another difference. Windows 10 has a default web browser called Microsoft Edge. But when you go to Windows 7, the default web browser for Windows 10 is Internet Explorer. So that's the difference. So when you continue on the folder shortcut or File Explorer on Windows 10, when you look at the icon, it's completely different from Windows 7. And the wording also is different. Here it shows Windows Explorer on Windows 7. And when you go to Windows 10, it shows File Explorer. So you see the difference. All right, let's continue. Also on Windows 10 taskbar, there is an icon for Microsoft Store, which is not the case on Windows 7 taskbar. And when you continue on Windows 10, there is an icon for Mail, which is not there on Windows 7. And on Windows 7, there is a media player, Windows Media Player, which is not on the taskbar for Windows 10. I'm comparing this because they are all new operating system. I've just installed them on my VMs, so I'm comparing between the two. When we continue on the right hand side to the corner of Windows 10, you can see there's an icon that shows notification on the right hand side corner. But when you look on Windows 7, there's none. That's called the Action Center. But when you go to Time on Windows 7, it looks the same like Windows 10. It seems they didn't change how they look. They stayed the same. When you look at the volume icon on Windows 7 and compare it with Windows 10, they kind of look different. This is transparent on Windows 10, but on Windows 7, it's kind of shaded. You see the white, which is shaded in the icon. When you go to the network icon on Windows 7, it looks different from Windows 10. They're not the same. That's also a difference. We continue on Windows 10. There's an icon for power that shows that you're plugged in your computer into power. On the other case, Windows 7, the icon is not there. We continue on Windows 10. There's a meetup icon, but when you look at on Windows 7, there's none. Windows 7 has an icon that when you click on, you see the hidden icons. It looks different from the one that is on Windows 10. You can see the difference. This is like an arrow, but this one looks very different. So that's a different. Also, on Windows 10, there's an icon which shows updates about what's happening around the world, which is not the case on Windows 7. As you can see, there's some kind of difference in between the two Windows 10 and 7. Just a little bit, which didn't change. That's the time and the date. But the rest are completely different. That's all in this video. I wanted to show you comparing the two, Windows 10 and Windows 7, seeing how their desktop looks. See you in my next video. Bye bye.